Hello there, friends. Today I'm so excited to share a brand new product from Simon Hurley and Ranger with you. These are brand new solar sprays. Now you have a rainbow of colors here. I just cannot wait to show you the possibilities in these sprays. First of all, let's talk about the colors. We have the pinkish red Cross My Heart. Then we have orange Overheated, a gold yellow Golden Hour, a green Crocodile Tears, a blue Beluga, and a purple Royal Flush. Now these can be sprayed on white cardstock or dark cardstock. I want to show you the difference because it is pretty amazing. Okay, when you look at it on white, you really don't see any of that color until you turn it in the light. So let me turn it the right way around here. So going in rainbow order here, according to our colors, there is Cross My Heart. You see that? Then we have Overheated. And then Golden Hour is there. Crocodile Tears are here. Beluga is there. And there you can really see that purple, that Royal Flush. So that is the best way for me to show you those colors. See, when they hit the light in just that perfect way, you can pick up on the colors. But take a look at how fine that mica dust is in there. It is so just fine. It's a very fine mist that comes out. So when it's sprayed on white cardstock, you don't get a lot of the color, but when you turn it in a certain way, you'll see that hue with a ton of shine. Now let's take a look at it on black because that's a totally different story. So here we have it on black. What I love about it on black, and this is Concord and 9th black cardstock that I used here, just their standard black cardstock. What I love about it on black is that you can not only see the color more here, you can see the shine and then this really cool texture that the actual spray creates. I just think this is amazing. So here you can see Cross My Heart and then Overheated. Overheated is almost like an orangey red. Then you have Golden Hour, Crocodile Tears, Beluga, and Royal Flush. But take a look at that amazing shine. I just think this is fantastic. It's almost like a galaxy card and I didn't have to do anything. It's amazing. So I want to show you two different ways that you can use this to create a really bold card or a more subdued pretty card. So let's get right to it. Okay, first I'm going to grab a black paper that I think will work really well with this solar spray, and this is the mixed media paper pad from scrapbook.com. This comes with 15 sheets of really smooth 8.5 by 11 inch paper. It is 400 GSM, so hopefully you can hear that. It is thick paper. So I'm hoping that I won't get as much warping with this paper as I would with normal cardstock. Okay, so I've grabbed a box here. I've just put my black cardstock in my box. I always keep an extra box on hand just to make sure that I have somewhere to spray. I'm grabbing the Cross My Heart solar spray and I'm going to give it a shake. And you can hear that there's a little ball inside that will help to get all of that mica broken up. And I'm just going to go ahead and spray. What I want to do is spray kind of 3 different colors and have them combine here. So I'm just kind of putting this one in the top left. Then I'm grabbing Overheated. I'm going to try to go kind of towards the middle with that one. Look at that. Wow. That is so cool. I just love how you can already see the pooling of those like droplets, and it's really going to create this amazing texture, almost like crocodile skin. And then I'm grabbing Golden Hour, shaking this up, and you want to make sure that you shake them up every single time that you use them, or else that mica is going to stay towards the bottom. Wow, okay. There we go. Now you could set this aside and let it dry, or grab a heat tool and just speed up that process a little bit. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep it in my box too and just kind of spray it. Try not to move it around too much because I really like the texture that it's giving me right now. So that we can really take a look at this. It's, oh wow, that is just amazing. Now I will say, look at the difference in warping when I use this mixed media paper from scrapbook.com. It is perfect for this type of medium, and that's with spraying and heating it, and there's very little warpage at all. So this is definitely the kind of paper to use for this medium. I just love that delineation from the red and pink down to the orange and then to the gold. That is fantastic. Now let's do a panel in white. So again, I've grabbed my mixed media paper pad, this time in white from scrapbook.com. It's that same thickness at 400 GSM. I've just cut that down to an A2 panel. And I'm gonna get my box back up. Definitely good to save your work surface. And I'm gonna place that there. This time let's go for the cooler hues. And I'm gonna start with Crocodile Tears. Because we're just playing today, I'm gonna follow kind of the same method that I did before, starting in that top right corner. And if you get anything leaking out, just have some baby wipes on hand. Make sure that your lid is on all the way too. Okay, let's go for that top left-hand corner. And the great thing about this paper is it can take a lot of liquid. So you don't have to be worried about spraying too much. It's amazing when you heat set it, how quickly that liquid absorbs into the paper. Okay, next we're going with Beluga. And then Royal Flush. Okay, so that paper looks almost completely covered right now. It's hard to see in the light, but you can see how wet it is. There you go, look at how wet that paper is. Okay, I'm gonna grab my heat tool and we're gonna get this dried. Okay, now let's take a look at what that white panel looks like. See how you can see those colors when you tilt it in the light? Look at that. There you can really see the green here, the blue in the center, and the purple at the bottom. Wow. So, I mean, it is so much less textural on white than it is on black, but I think there's a space for both. Another thing I wanted to show you is that you can practice with your colored cardstock as well. Colored cardstock, definitely not as thick as what I'm using here. It will take longer for that to soak into the paper. But what I found was that when you use it as a tone-on-tone, so here I used Overheated on this orange cardstock, it creates like a shimmering cardstock, which I think is really cool. So you can just actually give it a light mist and then your cardstock will be shimmery. So you can also just change the look of the cardstock you have on hand with these sprays as well. Okay, so let's figure out what we can do with these panels and make two really fun cards. Okay, so I've grabbed my Misty and I've put a rubber stamp on the door. This rubber stamp is called Typewriter. It's a background stamp, and so it gives you this amazing text on your background. What I love about it is that it actually makes sense when you read it. It reads like a book, and so I kind of like that instead of having like gibberish, but I know you're probably not going to be able to read it fully on this card front, but I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so I have Archival ink here because I wanted to make sure that whatever I put on top of this is going to stay right away, and I don't want to have all the drying time. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up my rubber stamp, Now I want this to cover the entire panel, so I'm not going to place my magnets down, but I'm going to be sure that my card panel is all the way in that bottom corner in case I have to stamp it twice. Okay, so over the top of this spray, can you see that? You can just see the words there, especially where there are big splotches. So that's where you're going to see the words a lot more. I'll probably stamp that one more time. Let me show you. Oh, you can really see it there too. Let me show you what it looks like on those big splotches. So look, when I stamp it on top of the blue with this archival ink, it gives you like it looks like blue text. So really cool, and it's a really laid back kind of texture. So it's just another layer on top of that solar spray. Okay, on this one, my white panel, I am going to go with some embossing. So I'm going to lightly ink up the stamp, just kind of randomly. So it's not perfect. And stamp that. And then let's see how this works. I'm going to cover this in rose gold embossing powder. Oh, that's cool. And remember, I did this really loosely. I didn't want it to be perfect. I just wanted to add a little bit of that texture. That is really cool. Okay, so then I can heat set this. I think I'm in love with that. Look at how amazing that is. That is so cool. And I just love how that imperfect stamping and embossing just adds to that really beautiful background. Let me just show you what this background looks like, because I didn't get to show you that before. But it actually has a passage. It starts with the quiet hum of the city at dawn, where each moment blends into the next. Endless possibilities emerge with every step taken on the winding paths. I love this. It's just so uplifting and beautiful, and I just think that that panel is beautiful as well. Here I've pulled out the brand new Whimsical Florals rubber background stamp. So I love a rubber stamp. These stamp so beautifully. I also love that you can pull out the two larger florals in here so that you can stamp them separately and pop them up on your background. I just think this is really pretty, and I really think that this is going to add that next layer of dimension that I want on my card. I'm going to be using Carnation ink on this one because it is a cooler pink tone, and I'm just going to ink up the side that's going to be on the edge of my card. Wow, that's so pretty. Look at that. And it doesn't have to be perfect because this card isn't perfect. Look how pretty that is. Wow. Okay. Okay, so if I place my card in this corner and my stamp along this side, I should just be able to get kind of that edge. Let's give it a try. I really love that. It gives the look of a damask, which I think is just lovely, but it has this softness to it. I love the addition of the text on the background. It's perfect. I think this one just needs a sentiment. For my black panel, I want this image to show up. So we are going to use white pigment ink. So this is essentially just a paint that's going to sit on the top of the surface. We're going to have to give it a little bit of a dry, and then we can always spray a little bit more shimmer on top to make that surface really shimmery because the pigment ink is going to be a matte finish. Wow, look at that. That is so fun. There we go. Look at that. That is so, so cool. I am going to use my heat tool to speed up the drying time on this one. One really cool thing about this pigment ink is that as it dries, you can see that text behind it so much more than you could before. So it almost brings it out. How cool is that? Now that I have my flowers stamped, because those are dry and they're a matte finish, I want to add a little bit of that shimmer to the top. So I'm adding some golden hour spray, and I'm going to try to spray it further away so that it gets that really fine mist. Look at that. So now the card is just shimmery all over again. Now I cut down my panel by about 1/8 of an inch. I just want that thin frame of black around the panel. And I'm using a nice heavy duty tape from scrapbook.com to adhere this to the black panel. And because this is a single layer card, I wanted to add something that gives it a little bit of dimension and give it that bright pop of white. So I'm adding this thanks sentiment, and I'm just going to pop this up with some 1mm foam adhesive. So gorgeous. I also love how that rose gold sentiment plays off of that shimmering background. For my white card, I have a sentiment that has a shadow layer, but because it's going to be sitting on top of this white solar spray layer, I want to spray it so that it has that same kind of shimmer and kind of goes into the background a little bit more. So I am grabbing my sentiment, and I'm looking here, the green section's here, the blue section's here, the purple section's here. So I am going to set this here and kind of spray it with the Beluga and the Royal Flush. Just give a little bit of a spritz. And I did also use the mixed media paper as well so that it had that same color of white. And then I can grab my tweezers, just gently hold it here. Okay, you can kind of see the shimmer. Oh, there you go. There you can see that shimmer so that it gives it the same look as it will have on the background. Okay, my sentiment is completely dry, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere the words to the top. Wow, look at all of that amazing shimmer. What a stunning card. I hope you enjoyed today's video showcasing the brand new products out today from Simon Hurley and Ranger Ink, including the spectacular solar sprays. I really had so much fun creating these two very different cards, and I hope it shows you just the possibilities and the different looks that you can get with these amazing sprays. Be sure to check out everything I've used in this video in the video description below by hitting the More button. You'll find all the links to the products there. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment letting me know what you prefer, the white paper or the black paper. And be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you turn on all notifications for my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and happy creating, friends.